Hello everyone, welcome to Zoho SalesIQ's Actionable Marketing webinar. This is Pragatish Jayachandran, a product marketer at SalesIQ, and I'll be your host. Today, we have an interesting as well as an essential topic that adds tons of value to a business of any size and industry. Essential because businesses needs customers. If they don't have a customer, would they even be eligible to be called a business? It would just be an expensive hobby for that CEO, wouldn't it? Yes, when you are a business, be it a product or service offering one, the customer support you offer ultimately determines whether you will be a success or not. To provide such a comprehensive customer support, we have help desk software and live chat software in the market. The biggest question is, can you provide such a comprehensive experience with just one software, or do you need both? To discuss this and have a conversation with us, we have Micheal Jeshua Aswin, Manager, Customer Support, Zoho Desk, and Imran Aslam, Manager, Product Support, Zoho SalesIQ with us. Gentlemen, welcome to the session.
Thank you, Pragatish.
Thank you.
So, what do we have here for the agenda today? First, we'll talk about why customer support matters, and then we'll discuss the benefits of both help desk and live chat software individually. And then finally, we'll talk about the main part of today's session, the integration. Why does customer support matter? Let me just share two contrasting customer support stories. These are not stories, real instance. First one. I've always been an admirer of Amazon for their customer-centric approach, at least during their initial years. This is a story from a book, Working Backwards, Insights, Stories and Secrets from Inside Amazon, written by two ex-Amazon executives, Colin Breyer and Bill Carr. You might have heard these stories 100 times at least, but let me just retell it to explain it in a context. When books were typically bought from stores, Amazon stormed in with this idea of buying them online. During one such instance, when someone ordered a book to gift it to someone during a holiday season in the US, Amazon delivered that, they got that book from the publisher with a damage before they could ship it. They had three options: ship it as it is and expect the customer to accept it so that they can gift the book before the holiday. The second option, order a new book from the publisher, send it to the customer, and with the delayed delivery. The third option they had was order a new copy from the publisher, send it to the customer with an apology note from the customer support team. But what did they do? They ordered a new book from the publisher, and as the team was very small back then, Jeff Bezos himself wrote an apology letter and shipped that book via air so that they could deliver it before their promised delivery date. You can ask, if they are going to deliver it before the promised delivery date, why Jeff bothered to wrote an apology letter? If you are a marketer, you would understand that, but that's a scenario for a different day. Now, they were already losing money with their business model, but still they did this fourth option where they even lost more money because it didn't matter to them. It didn't matter to them because they went beyond this regular option to provide the best delivery and support experience. Only when businesses, you do that, customers will take a notice at your business. If you don't have an empathetic customer support teams, it will just be a monetary transaction between you and the customers. It will never develop more into anything more than that. Love it, hate it, accept it or deny it, Amazon has earned certainly that from their customers. When you open out the options to provide the best for your customers, you earn their loyalty, affection, which will remain for a long time. The second story is from my personal experience, which I had with a popular brand. I bought a premium wireless keyboard which was working fine until a little after a year. Usually after a year the warranty gets void, so I called their support team And they asked me a couple of questions such as, is it on? Or they asked me to replace the battery, and I did that. And they told me that they don't have a repair option, so I'll have to buy a new one. In that scenario, I'm just asking myself, why would I ever buy a product from them? Would I ever feel confident to shell out a huge sum again, because they don't have the repair option? And even if I buy them again, it would be like walking over landmines, because one day if it's not working or not turning on, I can't do anything about it, and I'll just have to throw it away. So what can we learn from these two scenarios? Providing good customer support breeds loyalty, and a bad support will drive your customers straight to your competitors. Only a great support experience can make your customers stay with you, refer you to others, and come back with more business. To deliver that experience, you need, of course, a great team, but also great tools. Talking about tools, we have two important tools, Help Desk and live chat softwares. To talk about Help Desk, we have Ashwin here. Ashwin, would you like to give an overview about Help Desk software?
Sure, Pragadish. Thanks for the intro, and those were very interesting stories to listen to and to start the webinar with. Thank you for starting with the stories. Who doesn't love stories? So I think you have got hook of everyone who have attended already. So let me just give a quick overview of our help desk tool, that is Zoho Desk, so that we can then look into the live chat tool, that is SalesIQ, and then get into the integration. So as an extent to what you have been saying, yes, your business doesn't stop with marketing products or signing deals. It is important to retain customers. You cannot run your business for a long term if you were to lose customer centricity. And in simple words, your business isn't complete without customer satisfaction. And for customer satisfaction, you would need both these tools. And let me tell you why. So I Ashwin, work for the Zoho Desk team for the past 6+ years, and I'm here to show you a few glimpses of what we do in our team. So this is a ticketing tool, and before I take you into the tool, I'll just like to give you a quick overview of why you would need a help desk tool. So why do you need a help desk tool? So whenever you are responding or attending your customer queries, most of the people at the beginning used to attend it from the mail. And what is the shortcoming? Why you shouldn't use mail? When you use a mail, there is only one inbox, or maybe you can create folders, but all of the mails would fall into one particular place, and your agents wouldn't be able to clearly understand which one to take care of. When you have a team of 5 or 10, and especially when you are going to use Zoho, your team is going to grow definitely, and you might have more than 1 or more than 5 support agents, and how they can pick the tickets. There wouldn't be an easy way to do it. So in that case, we need a help desk tool that would compartmentalize tickets. All right. So this is the interface that you're seeing, that is Zoho Desk. So here you can see tickets coming from different channels into one particular interface. So this is from Twitter, and there is a ticket from Facebook. You can get tickets from forums, Instagram, and any different channel, even live chat, into one particular screen. So you need not juggle between different screens, but rather you stick to one particular screen and answer all your questions, customer queries right away. And that is why you need a ticketing tool. And apart from that, you could assign the tickets to specific agents based on the expertise they have. For example, I have assigned the first 4 tickets to Rick Sanchez, whereas the 5th one is assigned to a different agent. So it is very easy. I can just normally pick an agent and assign the ticket to them, or I could use automations to automatically assign tickets based on certain criteria. For example, if the tickets are coming from social media, I would want a senior agent to attend to it because they would need more experience. So in that case, I could create a direct assignment rule where I can give the criteria as if the channel is social media, then please go ahead and assign it to the senior agents that we have. So automations are available. So I can give it channel is social media right here, and I can create a rule. And after assigning, any agent can get into the ticket and they can work on it. So unlike email, here you can collaborate with all your agents. That is, you have a fields where you can put in the values. A particular ticket can have multiple values, and you can customize this layout. We have multiple layouts in Zoho Desk. So here you can see the contact name, the layout, the refund amount. So if your business is in automobile industry, then you could have the fields that are associated or aligned with automobile industry. Or if your business is something related to a cosmetics industry, then you might have the fields related to cosmetics industry. So all those details can be filled in here for the reference of the agents, and you can also loop in any other agent into it. For example, if I want an update for this ticket from one of the other agents, I can just tag them and ask for the updates, and they would be instantly notified in their email box. So this is how you collaborate with your agents through Zoho Desk. And also you could add the resolution to it. The time that you work on the ticket is automatically tracked over here. So if you are a company who is going to charge for the support that you provide, because just like Zoho, there are many companies who might have different types of support, classic support, premium support. So those kind of support requests, those kind of premium services could be charged using time entry feature that we have, and we have tasks, events, and calls. So you can also add tasks with the reminder, and using which you can send timely reminders to your agents to go for a call, or if there is any callback or any remote session to attend to, you can use that. So these are the different options that is available in the ticket module. And after that, you can just respond to the ticket and attend to it and close it before the ticket gets overdue. For example, here is a ticket I'm going to show you. So this ticket created recently, and it is going to be due tomorrow 5:34 a.m. So 5:34. So I have set the due date such that after a ticket is created, after 8 hours, the ticket should be overdue. But what if you work in a different time zone, or the agent works in a different time zone? You can assign SLA, you can define the escalation matrix, but also you can have different business hours associated to it, because most of the teams would have people working in different working hours. So you can have one for UK shift, one for US shift, and one for Indian shift, and also you can associate holidays to it. And just like how Pragadish started, the most famous quote, or the quote that I love most from Jeff Bezos, was that you should always focus on the feedback loop system, because whenever you're doing something, always try to focus on what you could have done better. So for that, you need to have the customer happiness rating. Only when you enable it, you would know how your customers feels about the support that you provide. And after gauging how they feel, you will be able to better your experience. You will be able to give better experience and also support to the customers. You could also get detailed comments from them and see where are the areas that you should work on. So these are the different features we have. The customer happiness feature. And also, speaking about customer happiness, it is important to look out for customers. It is important to take care of them well, but we shouldn't forget the agents as well, right? As a company, as an organization, the entire organization should have a great unity, synergy. Then only we can be able to provide best support to the customers. And for that case, we have something called game scope. So only when we can keep our agents happy, they would put in their maximum effort to keep the customers happy, and keeping the customers happy would keep the entire organization happy, and that would be like a chaos theory or a butterfly effect. And to keep the agents motivated and incentivize them, we need a feature called game scope. So using this feature, you would be able to create different challenges and games for your agents, where you can award them with trophies and badges that is specific to you can tailor made them. That is, if the particular agent is responding to all the queries within a few minutes, then you can award them with a quick responder badge. Or let's say an agent is not a support agent per se, but who is responsible of creating articles for your agents or FAQs for your agents, you can just give them the best writer award. If an agent particularly publishes around 10 articles, then you can award them this particular batch. So you can use these gamification options to incentivize and motivate your agents, so they wouldn't feel their work is mundane, but rather they would feel motivated, and they would compete with each other and with also themselves in getting better of each and every game. So these are some of the games that I have created. And also, since we have something called community, you might be familiar with Zoho's community, that is forum, right, where you can go ahead and post your queries. You can have discussion with your peers, not just the product team, but also the other customers who use Zoho. And you can get to share your suggestions, and you can get the opinion from the experts around the world. So when you are using the community, you can also, again, motivate the community users using something called gamification, where the customers in the community would be awarded with points, badges based on their level of interaction. So these are some of the features that are available I would like to show you. And you also have layouts and profile-based permission, which I might be showing you after the integration was done. So likewise, we all depend on, at least most of us are depend on AI. In that case, we wanted to give support to AI. And right now, Zoho Desk is provided, that is Zia in Zoho Desk, the AI-powered tool, is being powered by ChatGPT right now. So let's say I'm going to answer to this customer query right now. So when I reply, you can see the ChatGPT suggestion here. So this predicts the mood of the customer and let me know, okay, this is the mood of the customer, and you might have to rephrase your sentence or rephrase your answer. So in that case, you might not need a relatively new agent to work on this query. If the customer is frustrated, you might have to go for a senior agent to handle this query. And also, if the particular case or the particular ticket is very long, that is too long to read, then you can use this summary option, which would give you a crux of the ticket. So what is the real problem? And not just prediction, it also helps you to draft a response. But you might think it would lose a human touch, but it is not just going to send out the response right away. It would help you to draft a response. You can either use that and add your own human touch to it, add your own layers of you feel to it, or you can even regenerate the response if you think this isn't relevant or this is an app for the particular case. So there are different options to regenerate. It can either take from the help center articles, that is knowledge-based articles you have already created in your Zoho Desk account, or it can also surf through the internet and get you the right answer if it is available there. So these are some of the options and the features that we have released recently and are available in Zoho Desk. And before I finish, I would like to show you the analytics quickly. So we also have analytics like every other product, and this would show you the number of tickets created during any particular time, the channels they come from, the response time of agents, the resolution time of agents, and where and how the agents could do better. So this would help you to gauge yourself and make the performance of the agents better in the future. So this is a quick overview of Zoho Desk, and with this, I'll just hand it over to Aslam for the Sales IQ overview. Over to you, Aslam.
Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you for that overview. We can continue, Aslam.
Thank you, Prabhadesh, and thank you, Ashwin. It was a great and insightful overview, and also I'm really happy that you gave a powerful comeback. So moving on to the Sales IQ. So what is Sales IQ? While Ashwin have already spoken about Zoho Desk, the ultimate help desk application, we are now going to speak about the live chat platform. So SalesIQ is basically a live chat which is powered with the Vista tracking application. So with the SalesIQ, you will be able to deploy the live chat on your website, your native mobile applications, your email signatures, and it can be used to communicate with your customer support agents in real time. While we are focusing on the customer support platform right now, maybe we can go a little beyond the scope and talk about the marketing as well as the sales perspective too. So SalesIQ has a broader perspective where the companies like marketing companies, the sales companies, and the support companies, they have a wider broad spectrum to use it. So SalesIQ is basically a 360-degree application which allows the customers to directly connect with you in different channels, maybe from the Instagram, from WhatsApp, from Facebook, or from Telegram, and also you can use it directly on your mobile applications or the websites to get in connected or get in touch with you. So this is the SalesIQ's live chat application, and this is the dashboard that we are viewing right now. So like I mentioned here, SalesIQ can also be used for the sales perspective. So how can the SalesIQ be installed or added to your website? How it can be implemented? So SalesIQ is basically a very simple to set up application, and it can be set up with a very small or lesser number of setups. So in order to install the application, you just have to go to the installation section in the brands. So you'll go to brands, then you will choose the brand name, and then you will go to the installation section, and here you will find websites. So you have different channels here, which is website, Android, iOS, and the email signature, while right now we are going to see about the website. So when I go into the website section, I can see the code snippet that can be added to the website. Why? If it is a WordPress website, we do provide the URL which can be directly added to our SalesIQ plugin. If it is a different website, you can use the code snippet that is provided on the top. So here we have two ways of communication. One is the chat and the other one is the call. So help desk, it's a 360-degree application. It provides you insight about how the ticket has been created, from which particular application it was created. While live chat gives you the ability to talk with your customers in real time and to get a pulse of what the customer is really about and what makes them tick. So you will have the ability to understand them better. If needed, you can directly jump on a call, which might provide a possible solution or suitable solution to the customer if in case the customer is very irate or if the solution isn't viable. So there's two mode of communication. One is chat and then the call. So installation is very simple, and it can be directly set up on the website. The first thing is we can check out our website, in which this is my test website in which the SalesIQ code has been implemented. So whenever we land on the website, we have the cookie policy that can be directly accepted, while the EU region or more regions have the SEC compliance policy that makes the GDPR as well as to be very strict, and it has to be compliant. So we have a GDPR compliant application which allows the user to enable the GDPR, and it in turn will allow the visitors or the customers to accept the cookies that we store on the browser. If the customer do not like it, they can just click on do not try. So for the moment, for the demo purpose, I'm just going to click on guarded. So this is the live chat widget that is displayed, and this is how the widget will be displayed on the website. So right now I have a Zoho bot deployed on it. So what is a Zoho bot? So Zoho bot is an automated feature which allows the customer which will interact with the customer and provide more answers or take them in a navigated path which you have defined. So Zoho bot is more like an autonomous process where your customers can directly engage with the bot and get their answers whenever it is required. So you can take them in an IVR-based or flow-based mechanism. They can go through each and every flows if required. You can share the videos, you can share articles, you can share any information with the customer, and then if required, the chat can be forwarded to a human operator. So that is in real time. So everything here happens in real time, and the agents who are on the SalesIQ's UI, they can also jump into the chat whenever it is required. So while installation is very simple, and you have seen how the Zoho bot works or how it's triggered in the website when somebody lands on the website, we can just go ahead and see the overview of how SalesIQ works and how the UI is based on. So right now we are in the live view, which generally shows the people who are on the website. Then we have the My Chat section or the chat section, which provides the information or shows the number of chats that is currently active. So right now I can just toggle to the close chat section, in which I would be able to see all the chats that the department has done. And then I can go to My Chat section, in which all the chats that I have done will be displayed. So you will have a question in which I have a company in which I have different brands and categories or different applications that I sell. How can I streamline them? That is where the brands and SalesIQ come into play. So like I mentioned, if you go to the brand section, you have the ability to create multiple brands. So let me give you a short brief. Like Zoho has more than 55 brands in applications in total. So how do we manage them? So in SalesIQ, we create brands for each of the applications, and then those brands are mapped to the respective department, and those respective department people are added to those departments. And that specific department is mapped to the brand. So whenever a chat is initiated, that specific chat gets routed to that specific department, and those people will queue the answer the customer, close the chat, or close the call. So that is how the brands come into play. And then the departments. So that is where you will add the operators to the application. So when a chat is initiated, it generally comes into the SalesIQ's UI, where the operators will be able to pick up the chat and talk to the customers in real time. And like I mentioned previously, if a call is required, you can directly jump onto the call by clicking on the call feature. And we also have a screen sharing feature which will allow the operators to take a remote screen sharing to the customer's computer and see what the issue is. So in a support-based company, most times it would require for an operator to know what the customer is looking for. So that is where the screen sharing plays a major role. So just click on a button, you would be able to see what the customer or the respective user is going through. You can navigate them to the respective flow, and then you can guide them to the correct path and resolve the issue. So this is how the tickets will be displayed, and then this is how the calls will be listed. So whenever a call is handled, you can see the call in queue, answered call and unanswered call. Then you will have something called the feedbacks. So in help desk, you saw a feedback rating where the customers can provide feedback to each of the tickets. So similar to that, you will have the ability the operators have the ability to get ratings from the customer whenever they complete the chat. So the listers, they have the ability to rate the agent, the chat, and provide a feedback, which can be used to evaluate how the agents are doing it in real time. And you can also coach the agents to make it more streamlined and make it more efficient and optimized. So let's jump on to the settings where there are more interesting features. So like I mentioned, we have previously seen the Zoho, which is an automated chatbot version which can talk to the customers, and you can define the flow there. So it's very simple to configure. For example, if I go to the Zoho, you can just click on a bot and then there is a flow. In the flow, you can define how the flow can work. So first of all, when the customer lands in, you tell them a message. Hi, visitor. I can see that you have won a reward for your recent purchase in Flipkart or Amazon. And then you tell them, do you need any help with the reward? So you provide them multiple options. So that multiple options get streamlined into different trees, and that opens up a new flow. So this is how the Zoho is configured. It is very easy to configure. It can be easily streamlined. You can configure or customize your bot right from the scratch. So this is more like a flow-based mechanism. So what is an answer bot? Excuse me. So answer bot is generally a solution that can understand the customer query and can provide a solution based on it. So how does the solution is provided? So SalesIQ has a specific system called resources. Resources is basically the FAQs, articles in help desk sense, it's a knowledge base. So you can add your articles, you can add your FAQs directly here in the SalesIQ. That can be read by the answer bot. So how does it read it? You can just add the articles, you can just add the FAQs to it, and the answer bot has the ability to index everything. So in case, in the future, if I go ahead and ask the answer bot any question, similarly, for example, right now I'm in the answer bot, I have chosen a specific brand called Autopilot. I just type in a message, hi. So the answer bot will provide me the response, hello there. This is called small talks. Small talks is generally or basically a small talks made by the bot. You have the ability to customize them too. And then if I ask a question, I have a specific article available here in the article section, which is about the leave policy. So the answer that I mapped here is called answer. That is the reason it is giving me the direct answer here. So if I go ahead and ask how does SalesIQ identify visitors, then the respective answer available in the FAQ section will be directly provided by the bot. So now an interesting question will arise. I can see that there are two different bots. One is an Zoho bot and then the other one is an answer bot. So do I have the ability to use them together? I need a flow-based mechanism. Also, I need to have an AI bot that can understand the customer's query and respond to them. And the answer to it is yes, we have the ability to do that. So if I go to the Zoho bot, I would find an interesting option, which is called an autopilot. For example, if I go here, I will delete this particular block. Now I have the ability to add something called AI, answer bot. So this is the answer bot that we have previously seen. So you have the ability to add that block here. So what does it do? You can take the customer on a journey, like you can allow them to select the respective options. You can collect respective information like phone number, email, or any information that you require. And then you need to provide an answer to the customer somehow. Like maybe they can ask about, I want to know about your pricing or the application pricing list. So you have an article or FAQ available for that. So that is where this particular answer bot comes in. So if I say here, the customer will be able to ask a question. So if they ask a question, the answer bot, the respective block, it pulls the information from the articles or the FAQs and provide it to the customers. So this is a combination of both the Zoho bot and the answer bot used together. And the next question would be, does the AI or do you have any integration with the ChatGPT? Yes, we do. The solution that is offered here is ChatGPT, and it is basically an integration. So when enabled, you have the ability to connect with OpenAI, get your resources directly in the SalesIQ. So that is a topic for another session. Maybe we can skip ahead to the other flows. So right now the ChatGPT is integrated, so we have to enable it in order for that to be displayed here. So this is how the Zoho bot and the answer bot works. And then there are a lot of other automation features that can be used. So in most support companies, you have the criteria where you will know who the audience set is. You would have tier 1, tier 2 customers or customers from different regions. So how do you route them to the specific operators in your department or in multiple departments? Even when you use the Zoho bot or even when you're using the normal version of the live chat, human powered, you have the ability to route the chats to the agents based on different criteria. So that is where you would be using chat routing. You can do the same for the call routing too. So the chat, what is chat routing? So it's basically an audience criteria where you define each criteria, and that criteria will help the chat to get streamlined to different skilled operators. For example, if you want the chat from the US region to streamline only to specific operators who handle the US region, or if you want the chats which is initiated from your website or the application, and the customer has a specific visitor information, that is, you might have passed it from the backend using an API. So that can also be routed here to specific skill set people. Maybe if they come for an API issue or if it's a more tech savvy question, then it can be routed to mostly a tech people. So here you will choose a brand. I will choose which Zoho, and then you have the audience criteria where you will choose the audience. That is the criteria. So it's more like landing page title, the first visit source, the country, the number of visits that I have done, and then the visitor info. So if you're using an API, this would be the key and the value that you can set to route the chat to the specific operators. So this is chat routing, and then the same criteria will apply for the call routing too. And if a call is initiated, you can route those calls to specific operators. So this is basically the overview, or this is basically, since the time is very less, I am giving you a basic of how our most important features is used in SalesIQ. Right now, the important question and the topic that we are all present here is about the Zoho Desk integration. So what does the Zoho Desk integration brings to the table? While Ashwin spoke about how the desk can help you streamline everything right from multiple channels to the desk tickets created or sent to your support email address. And like I mentioned, the live chat will help you to instantly organize or get the chats in real time and respond to the customers. When both these integrations are used together, the power of the solution rises to more in tremendous amount. Let me give you an example. So I will take my organization or my specific department, SalesIQ, for example. So while the market or the industry SLA or the response time for a specific ticket or for a specific chat is defined as 12 hours, with the help of SalesIQ and the Zoho Desk integration, we were able to bring that to under 3 hours. So how did we achieve that? With SalesIQ and with Zoho Desk. So with SalesIQ, the chats come in inbound and the calls just comes in to the operators and they respond to the customers' questions in real time and that gets resolved. So what happens if a specific chat or a call requires a follow-up? So it does happen. Some might ask about a billing question, some might ask about a tech question, which has to be handled by the dev team or the backend team, right? So that is where you create a ticket, and that ticket will directly go into Zoho Desk. So how do you create a ticket? Will you have to juggle between different applications to do that? The answer is no. You can do directly from the SalesIQ application. So how do we configure that? It's right in the SalesIQ's integration page. So SalesIQ offers many integrations with the Zoho ecosystem as well as the other applications. And this is how the integration page. So if you go to integrations, you will see all the applications listed here, in which one among the powerful applications is Zoho Desk. So if I click on Zoho Desk, I will see multiple options. So how do we configure it? So if you have a SalesIQ account or a Zoho account, you will be able to create an account instantly, even if you do not have a Zoho Desk account. Or if you already own a Zoho Desk account and an admin, you will have the ability to instantly enable it. So there are 3 options. One is the desk configuration, the department mapping, and the SalesIQ configuration. So how does these settings work? The desk department configuration or the desk configuration, first option, will allow you to classify how each chat can be created into ticket or how you can configure the settings. The first option is chats to be converted as tickets in desk. When a chat comes in with a name and email address, most support organizations, they will know their set of audience, they know who the customer is or who the audience is. So basically they will have the name and email address. If you do not know it, no worries. You have the ability to collect the name and email address right in the chat, or you can use the Zoho to collect those information or any other vital information that can be passed into desk. So if the name and email address is available, you have the ability to create the chat into ticket. So the first thing is choose the type of chats to be converted in Zoho Desk as ticket. So you have the ability to choose all chats, whether it's an operator or botnet chats, or whether you would like to follow up only the missed chats. So you can choose any tickets here. And when does the ticket needs to be created? So some might like the tickets to be created whenever the chat is attended. Some might like it to be created when the chat is about to get ended. So I don't want the ticket to be created for all the chats, but I want it to be created on demand. What I have to do, I can just choose none, and in the department settings that I would cover later, you will have the ability to create a ticket on demand, and I will show it to you how it can be done. So right now I'm going with all chats, and then what should be the status of the ticket? It should be open. And what are the other things? Okay, apart from tickets creation and the chats to be created as a ticket in Zoho Desk, what are the powerful features does the Zoho Desk integration brings? So most of you know that Zoho Desk offers you something called knowledge bases, which is basically the article in SalesIQ. So that is mostly a help center, and your customers can directly access the page and get all the cables right from that specific portals. So I already have those in my Zoho Desk. And do I need to create that in SalesIQ? Well, the answer is no. With the integration, you have the ability to sync all your Zoho Desk knowledge base into SalesIQ with the click of a button. If you enable this option, all your Zoho Desk articles, the knowledge bases, will get synced into Zoho SalesIQ in real time. It will get synced, and that can be used in the SalesIQ chat window as well. It can be used in the Zoho board. It can be used in the answer board. Well, you can also share that as a link or an article inside the chat itself. And like you are aware that the Zoho Desk knowledge bases might have different departments or the categories. You can also choose that right here inside the map your SalesIQ department in Zoho Desk articles. So once the mapping is completed, all the KBs from Zoho Desk will automatically sync into SalesIQ. So how do you define that each article sync into SalesIQ? So you have the ability to set the permissions to and then the timing. So first of all, there are certain permissions in Zoho Desk knowledge bases, and you can also define that. The first is all users, registered users, and both. So if your knowledge base category comes into the registered users, you can choose that. If you want to sync all the KBs into SalesIQ, then you can choose all users. And then how do you want these articles to be displayed inside SalesIQ? Whether you want to keep it as a draft or you have published, you also have the ability to choose that. And then when should the auto sync automatically has to be happening? You have the ability to set the schedule, whether it has to be done daily, weekly, or monthly, because some support teams, they might update the knowledge base frequently, and some might update it in a month. So you can choose the auto sync based on your requirement. And in case if you need the sync to be happen in real time, then you can just click on sync now. This will sync all articles instantly into your Zoho SalesIQ. Next comes the department mapping. So this is where the on-demand process comes into play. So I mentioned about a specific category where you have the ability to convert the ticket on demand, since you do not like the chats to be created automatically as a ticket in desk. So here you have the SalesIQ departments, and then here you have the desk departments. So each departments can be mapped together. So if I map one department to another department, it means that the department isn't synchronized and the tickets can automatically get created. Since I do not want the tickets to be created automatically and I want it to be done on demand, I can just go ahead and choose on demand. So what does it do? It will provide an option for me to create the ticket on demand. So what is the benefit of it? So some companies, they would like the tickets to be created only if an issue needs to be resolved or if it needs to be checked in the backend. So that will allow me to create this particular option will allow me to create them on demand. So this is the department mapping. And then you have another interesting feature, which is in the SalesIQ configuration. So mostly in the Zoho Desk, you might have different layouts, and you will also have different fields or custom fields created. So if you want that fields to be listed inside SalesIQ while you're creating the ticket, this is the place you have to do it. So you can choose the desk department, and then you can choose the layout which you want to choose, and then you will choose the desk layout fields. So any fields that you have added into the Zoho Desk will be displayed here. You can just drag and drop that here, and this will be available inside the Zoho SalesIQ while you're creating the Zoho Desk. While right now we have seen how the configuration has to be done, we can see a real demo about how a ticket can be created right from SalesIQ. Let me go to my chats. Here I have a chat under the name Mac. So if you are looking at the right side, you will see the information about the customer, and then the source cut, the visitor tracking details feature can provide you. And then you have the conversation info. Below that, you have something called Zoho Desk. It's a widget, and it says no ticket associated with this chat. So what does it mean? So there is a ticket. there is a message from the customer, the operator has responded to it and the chat has been completed, but the ticket hasn't been created. Okay, so what can we do? Right now we have the ability to convert chat to ticket. This is a specific option, choose on demand option I have spoken about. And apart from that, what do I care? So since the email address is available, what SalesIQ does is it intelligently checks for any other available tickets for the respective user. So if you look at my screen, you will see chat ticket ID 464, 464, 59. These are all the tickets that has been created for the same user, and you have the ability to view all the tickets the customer has ever created in Zoho Desk. So you can toggle between different tickets. You can just click on it. You will be able to view the real insight about what has happened and what is the respective information that has been conveyed on the chat. Any other action that I can do? Yes, you can do the actions like whether the ticket has to be closed, whether it has to be put on hold, or whether it has to be escalated. Or even while creating a ticket, you can just directly associate it to an existing ticket. That's simple as that. And then let's see how a ticket can be created. So right now I'm going to click on convert chat as ticket. So this is opening up a form in which I can create a ticket. So how would you like to associate? Whether you want to create a new ticket or whether you want to create an existing ticket associated to an existing ticket. And if you look closely, I have mapped a field called city on the SalesIQ configuration, and that has been listed here. So I can directly go ahead and choose a respective city, Chennai, and then I can type in a product name. I can choose the channel in which ticket has been created, chat, and the subject will be automatically input by the application. In case if you want the application, in case if you want the subject to be modified, I can change it, and then I can set the status how it has to be classified. Now, if I go ahead and click on submit, the ticket will be automatically created inside Zoho Desk, and you will be able to see the respective ticket right here in SalesIQ. If I click on it, I would be able to see the entire transcript and the subject of it and how the status can be changed, or the action where it can change the status of the ticket. So what does it help, and do you have any benefits from it? Yes, of course you have benefits from it. When someone comes into a chat or when someone calls in and asks you about, I want to know about the status of the ticket, well, you can proactively engage with them without them asking this question. So a person named John Smith comes on the chat. You can instantly see whether there is an existing ticket available for a specific user. So I can just go ahead and see whether there are any tickets available or not. And then I can ask the customer, are you looking for assistance or you're looking for a follow-up for the respective ticket? If the customer says follow-up, you can go ahead and take the conversation from that specific point. So the perspective here is you will have the ability to understand and navigate the customer through the rough waters. So this is how the SalesIQ and Desk integration will allow you to use the max out of each applications. So we have right now seen how the SalesIQ application will get information and push it into Zoho Desk. Let's see how it is displayed in the respective Zoho Desk application itself. So I have a small short icon where I can click to open the Desk application. I'm just clicking on a pop-up icon, the go-to icon. Right now I'm inside Zoho Desk, in which I can see the chat transcript, and then the city that I have mapped, the fields that I have mapped, the information that I have provided, it has been pushed into the Zoho Desk without me going into the Zoho Desk application and making the changes. So everything works seamlessly with the native integration. So since the information are all available here, Ashwin will, moving forward, go ahead and provide information about how you can use this information to automate process in Zoho Desk. Over to you, Ashwin.
Thank you, Aslam. That was a great demo. Just like how Aslam said, if the chat ticket comes in, the chat would be automatically converted as a ticket in Zoho Desk with all the fields already synced through the native integration. And out of all these tickets, let me just filter out the tickets that are created through the chat channel. Here, after applying the filter, you can see all these tickets are created through chat channel. I could see the chats that have been answered, the missed chats and all that. So let me get into one particular ticket. And here, some of the fields would be automatically synced through SalesIQ. The others could be updated by the agent. And we also have something called SLA. So let's say a customer has an issue and he or she is reporting to us, and we have to work with the developer to get it fixed. In that case, we wouldn't be able to give a resolution right away to the customers. For that cases, we will have to follow up with the customer. So after the chat has been created as ticket, the due date would be set. So the only 13 hours is left. So you can set the due date based on the type of customers or based on the shift that you work on. So the criteria is subjective. So you could set any criteria and you can set the due date. So you can make sure your customer gets the response and resolution on the right time. And apart from the due date, you can also update the other fields, the priority of the ticket, the fields that you want. And also then you can invite the agents, other agents for collaboration using the comment section. But right now you cannot find comments here because an automation called Blueprint has been applied here. I think some of you might be already familiar with Blueprint. If you aren't privy to it, then Blueprint is a feature that we have in Zoho Desk. So that is used to completely orchestrate a process. So you can set up a flow for your agents because when your team grows, you wouldn't be able to instruct everyone what should be done and what shouldn't be done. Even if you do so, there is a room for manual error anyways. So to avoid errors and may nullify the errors totally, you can construct a flow something like this. And after that, your agents will be able to answer the tickets or work or progress through the ticket only in the way that you wanted to. So this would completely remove all the human errors. So here the ticket has been applied through Blueprint and I can close it through the Blueprint. I can do whatever action I would like to. I can also add a comment. So here I can invite a developer asking if there is any, can you please check this issue. So the ticket can be assigned to the developer after adding a comment. So the developer would be looking into this ticket, and after the developer gives an update, they will assign it back to me. I can respond to the customer and say that, okay, the issue that you have reported has been sorted out right now. So this gives a complete closure. And while replying, as I've already told you, you could get the assistance of automations, you could get the assistance of AI, and using all these applications, you'll be able to send a reply to the customer and get the query sorted. And after that, you again, the same flow follows. That is, you can get the customer happiness rating, using which you can gauge the happiness percentage, the sentiment of the customers, and so on. So this is how the Sales IQ and desk integration work seamlessly, right from the beginning of an issue and identifying the root cause, following up with the customer and making sure they are satisfied in the end. And you can also create an analytics for the entire flow, both in Sales IQ and also in Zoho Desk. So this would give a complete picture and closure to how a proper and a top-notch support can be provided to the customers using these applications.
That was really insightful, Aslam and Ashwin. Thank you for sharing the integration information with us. I just hope it wasn't overwhelmed to the attendees today. So with that, we've come to the end of the session.
Right, then I believe we can wrap up. Prabhadesh, thank you for hosting us. It was great, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Aslam. Thank you, Ashwin, and thank you, everyone.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying for so long, and thank you, Pragdish, for hosting, and thank you, Aslam, for co-organizing this. Thank you.